It's time for the real shit. Welcome to Capcom 2021. What are our hopes and dreams, and what do we realistically expect?
Dragon's Dogma 2, Dino Crisis Remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake,
Revelations 3!
Revelations 3, Code Veronica X Remake,
Now I almost don't want to tune in.
Silent Hill for some reason.
Mega Man Legends 3! Mega Man Legends 3, damn it!
Mega Man X!
Mega Man Legends 3. That's like just like taking a knife and stabbing yourself in the gut. That's what
Yeah,
that
you
is.
gotta believe!
You gotta believe!
Always.
Mega Man Legends 3.
Never give up. Never surrender. The most realistic, non-pipe dream I have that would make me so happy, two things. A Resident Evil Classics collection that has been asked for so long.
By us.
And no one
Not
else.
just us. Not just us.
Okay,
A
okay.
Resident Evil Classics collection and or Resident Evil Village DLC.
Resident Evil Village DLC.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
Resident Evil
High
Village
chance.
DLC would be enough for me
High
to be
chance.
very excited. Yeah,
Yes.
I do think there's a high chance. In fact, I think it might lead off the show.
Yeah.
That'd be a great opener.
It's time for a new Mega Man.
It's always time. It's
Too-
time
it's
for a new Mega
It's
Man
been a long time
X.
since 11 came out. It's time for X specifically.
It's time for X specifically.
Specifically. What was the last X? X8 or something? or
X8 was
10?
the last main entry.
Well, whatever.
of
Those
Mega
went
Man X,
downhill
yeah.
after a while, so they got to bring it back.
They do.
No,
X9.
don't cut that 3D bullshit out.
X9.
Just it's 2D side scrolling. That's all we
Give
need.
me X9 with anime cutscenes.
Yeah. So X4. Again,
Yes.
do it.
With that level of quality of voice acting,
Yeah.
yes.
One take.
The Capcom Twitter account said we can expect Rise and
Yeah.
Stories 2
Mhm.
and Village and Ace Attorney, right? Were the
Yeah.
four.
Great Ace Attorney, yeah.
Cool.
What are you expecting from Rise? A new, like, just more monsters or what?
More update past the current one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, new monsters is the easy thing to go to,
Mhm.
but a completely new biome would be cool. I mean,
Ooh.
what made the World DLC so exciting, right, was it felt like they were constantly trying to change how you were playing the game. So, you know, like having like the siege events, right?
Mm.
Kulve
Mhm.
Taroth, like that
Mhm.
was an exciting moment. And so to have maybe like a new style of quest, this seems like a good time to introduce that, get experimental. I think that would be really neat.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but I would love to have, like, a card game that you can play in, like Final
Monster
Fantasy.
Hunter?
Yeah, like you
Oh.
can just play a card game with NPCs
You know
and they're
how
all
the
the little
maiden is
monsters.
just sitting down at the bench? I just kind of vision you like sitting down.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Care for a game of Gwent?
Seriously, instead of Resident Evil Reverse, they should have done a damn card game.
They should have done a card
There
game.
is a Capcom
There
card
is a
game.
there is a Capcom card game.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Tenno or what is it?
I did-
All
with
right,
it.
I forgot all
Yeah.
about Tenno or
Crazy.
whatever
Oh,
the hell
shit.
it's called.
Teppen.
You know
Teppen.
What's
Is
that?
fucking
Shit.
Okami coming back in some
Yeah,
way. So,
yeah.
Like, even Okami Den on like Switch or something.
Oh,
sure, I would
yeah.
take
Sure,
that.
sure.
Desperate.
I mean, a new Okami would be really high.
Oh my
for
god,
sure.
Yeah.
it's so sick.
To this
Beautiful
date,
job.
one of the most gorgeous
Beautiful as
games.
Joe. We're getting carried away.
I mean, there's a lot of things, right? Like you can go
Pipe dream
deep
road,
into the
Literally
Capcom
everything.
That's where we walk.
book.
Capcom is back.
I actually want a lot of their like Super Nintendo side scrollers to come out on something like modern that I could play, like
Right.
the Mickey games, the Aladdin game,
I mean,
Goof Troop.
we spend so much time shitting on Konami, but I was actually very happy with the Castlevania collection and the Contra collection. And so, yeah, Capcom could do that. And actually, during the 360 days, they did release a lot of their old
Yep.
stuff. That was kind of a thing they were doing. They had, like, Final Fight, was it Double Impact, I think it was? That was pretty cool and well presented. So, yeah, dipping into more of that
Instead
stuff
of
would be fun.
Reverse, they should have done a Resident Evil beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Might as
Cool.
well.
I mean,
Not a bad-
like a Resident Evil,
Joe Baker,
like a
2D side
Yeah.
2D
Joe
Joe
Baker
Baker.
just-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be really sick for sure.
I feel like the only hope, not to be negative, the only hope for Resident Evil Reverse is if it's out today.
Yeah.
The longer that goes on,
fair.
nobody.
It's fair.
And it's a slim
Cares.
hope.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slim hope even then.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh.
Maybe it's fun. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe it'll come out and we'll all be like, we'll regret our words and deeds, but I doubt it.
I doubt it.
His video may be
Oh,
inappropriate.
here we go. Going in.
Time.
Let's go. Throw it out there.
Logo.
Throw it out there.
Ooh, got there.
Oh, that logo.
I love that logo.
Capcom versus SNK. Let's go.
Yeah, it is funny.
feelings, emotions.
It is a logo
Welcome
that
to the
stirs
Capcom
emotion.
E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news, and updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for?
Will that be
They
it?
still have yet
Our
to
first stop
reveal
today,
the
Resident
final
Evil
character in
Village.
Street Fighter 5.
The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year.
Classic
I'm
collection.
honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Yeah, thank you.
Another time.
Bye-bye.
Step on
There's
me.
nothing to fear.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
Psycho.
I think it's time you left things in my hands.
You're out of your depth.
Ethan.
Does
No.
Chris say that? Yeah. Ethan, no. VII.
I loved this game.
Great.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will
it is,
gain
here it is.
free
Here it is.
access to our online multiplayer
case
title,
you forgot.
Resident Evil RE
Can I
Verse,
give the access
where
back?
players go head-to-head with their favorite Resident Evil heroes and
It's
bioweapons.
fun playing as the villains.
I'm now happy to announce that Resident Evil RE-verse will go live next month across all
Next
supported
month.
platforms.
All right.
So head into the fray to celebrate the Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
Please don't let that be
don't
the
let
only
that- please
Village
don't let that
update.
Please, I'm
Yeah.
begging you, Capcom. Please. Oh shit.
Oh,
Yep.
yep.
Nice. Okay.
It counts though. They announced it.
I'm.
That feels like it was like added
Thank you,
into
Kanda-san,
the
for that
Yes.
wonderful
minutes
update.
ago.
presentation.
Next up,
I'm cool
some
with it.
long-awaited news
Confirmation.
from the world of Monster
Remake
Hunter.
3, I just
Whether
went
it's
on and on and on,
adventuring
hoping and
alongside
hoping
monsters
and
or
hoping it
battling
never
them
happened.
with friends.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to
Fascinating
say
for you.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
First,
but-
let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series,
I'm kinda in for
Monster
this.
Hunter Stories
I never
2:
played the other one.
Wings of Ruin.
Dude, so in.
Now that I know the monsters.
Yeah. The first one is super jolly. Battle system not my favorite, but
Super jolly. Cut to woman weeping.
Yeah.
but it's like anime sad. You know what I mean? Where it's
Right,
like
right, 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 right.
This
it's
was
not
his
really
fate.
sad.
Are you saying that anime feelings don't?
Or the only thing.
The only feelings that are
Red may
real.
have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man.
You know what I mean?
He never stood a
Suffering in
chance.
anime is just like normal.
All around
Yes,
things just
exactly.
kept getting worse. But I
We've been
heard
watching different animes.
that
Anime
Guardian
is
Ratha had
suffering.
survived
Some of the animes
and
I watch are the
returned
most
to
brutal
Echo's
things I've ever
Island.
seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I stand by
I
that.
went there to see Red
Even
Dog
if you
once
watch the
again.
jolly one, still suffering.
Oh yeah.
Then, of course, that's when I met you.
You were given Red's kinship stone, and now a Rathalos egg.
I'm so
This is
happy that they're
destiny.
doing this, that it's a more character-driven, story-focused, different take on Monster Hunter. But this style is so good that I just want a full main Monster Hunter entry to look exactly like this because
Said that
it's
a beat of its
fantastic.
wings can bring about waves of destruction.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin. The pits are appearing everywhere.
Yeah, my biggest question going into Stories
there
2
remains
is like
strange
any changes
light.
to the battle system. Maybe make it a little less rock paper scissors.
Oh, that's cool.
Breaking hearts.
Which monster are you going to team up with?
What's this whole idea of
Good
forming
choice.
kinship with monsters?
Thoughts?
How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will. And The bonds between monsters
There
and
it is.
riders
Bond.
are just like your bond with
You had me a
Tsukina.
bond. Double bond.
What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves?
Yo,
All I have are
I'm
questions.
invested.
If there's worry or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too.
Is that what they call
He
the
needs
baby?
to know that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the
like
flames of
five,
his
right?
life force weakening. The burden of such great power is too much for
You
his
gotta go on
body
a
to
Ratha
bear.
rescue in this
Yeah.
game.
I actually feel like the dub is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters.
3 bonds.
Doesn't mean I won't.
You got me.
Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
They have the power of kinship.
Groove count
and
one.
bond.
They're
Yeah.
friends. They're monsties.
And
Humans
groove.
carry the strength
Yeah, because you're
of
not a
everyone
hunter
they
in
meet.
stories.
That
You're a
makes
writer.
them strong.
Oh.
So much better.
Yeah.
My
So
friends
good.
here taught me that. I believe in the strength of humanity.
So you use monsters that you build up in battle.
Jolly as hell.
Yeah.
Next month,
Yeah, soon.
Wow, yeah.
like legit got the codes.
Yeah, where are the codes?
Where's Bloodworth?
Featuring. Oh. How?
Palamute, excellent addition.
Yeah.
Always good.
Such a different vibe to go from like befriending them all, just like killing them with a
Yeah.
dog friend.
Look at this Palamute rocket attack.
New Monstie?
Trial.
Trial!
You love to see that transfer.
Yep.
You love to
That is
see it.
nice.
What
You
day
love
is
to
it?
see
Pay up.
Is this
We'll pay.
Switch exclusive?
Credit card saved.
Kimura Maiden outfit.
No, also on Steam.
Yep.
But
Steam.
because Rise is right now only on Switch, you don't get the transfer stuff
Right.
if you play on PC, right?
Okay.
So,
But if you want the
July
frame rate,
9th.
you gotta
yeah,
pay.
it is also coming to PC.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that
Yeah.
announcement?
Yeah.
The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be
She did
joining
not know what
Monster
the
Hunter
announcement
Stories
was
2
when they filmed
as one of
this.
the new
Yeah.
Monsties
And how
in the
about that
first free
announcement?
title update coming soon after the game's release.
Oh, I want that jacket.
You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also
Yes,
carries
dude,
your progress
yes.
over to the full game release just a few weeks
I
later
need to
on
get
July
a Claire
9th.
red leather jacket
That's not the
and
only
an
way to
Aerith,
join the hunt.
like suede
Millions
leather
of you
mini
made
jacket.
Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we
Damn
have
right.
even more content coming, including
wanna
a
see,
new
Ben?
collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Collaboration.
Collaboration with who? Contact.
Onimusha! Give me an Onimusha collaboration.
dude,
That
you
would
It
be
fits
good.
the vibe. It
Makes
fits
sense,
the
yeah.
vibe.
It does
Yes.
fit the vibe. This game is great, dude.
This is for
Give me an
my
Onimusha
hunters.
collaboration.
Yo.
Keep the dream alive of Onimusha.
Keep the dream alive.
I mean, it's, yeah, I suppose it makes sense that it's a collaboration with
Yeah. We
stories.
knew about this.
Yeah, we did.
Rathalos is no runt.
Moon's blessing emerge. Get ready. I have a good feeling. What will it be? Moon's blessing emerge.
Dude, little cartoon Diablos.
Yeah.
So good.
I want to hunt right now.
Dude, yeah, let's go.
Monster Hunter trailers always have so much information and you can't parse it.
Yeah. For more information, please visit the official
Yeah,
website.
for more information.
There it is. I love that guy.
My fave.
Not what I expected.
That cut. Play Possum?
Yo,
Shadow
those shades.
Wesker.
Yo, those are fun stickers. Paid downloadable content.
Kimura is like my second home.
The little pink one.
Think you can take on Rondine?
I need that emote.
You just need to let the joy of Monster Hunter into your life.
Yeah.
Don't
Let it
question
in.
Just
Don't-
let it
yeah.
The
wash
shade.
over you.
Event Quest
The
is
shades,
laying
dude.
on the ground.
There
Setting
has
the
never
stage
been a
for
better
Albert
time to be a
Wesker.
Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. North American and European future
Finally bringing it
attorneys will
over.
finally
Shout
be
out.
able to get their
Shout
hands
out.
on the
Localize
Great
your
Ace
games.
Attorney Adventures and the
Thanks,
Great Ace
Capcom.
Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only available in Japan.
Yeah, it's
You'll
been
travel back in time to the
eternity.
late 19th century Japan and London to play
She's
as
got a good
Ryunosuke
positive
Naruhodo,
Very
Phoenix Wright's ancestor, in this action-packed prequel.
Yeah.
Now let's hear
How
more
can you
about the
not just be
story.
smiling at this
Yeah.
whole thing?
Yeah.
So then,
She's keeping it moving.
Yeah.
Love it.
Will this be only what she told us it would be, though?
Yeah, I think so.
So
That's the
just-
vibe I'm getting.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
It's very
Just like, here are these
ordered,
three
you know?
things. Goodbye.
I don't think we're gonna get any one more.
I will become a lawyer. I have
Brace
to.
yourself.
I can't wait to.
I need to brace myself.
Yeah.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Who are you? Herlock Sholmes. You must have heard of me.
Herlock
We must
Sholmes.
solve this case,
Professor
Naruhodo.
Layton.
Let us
Yeah.
engage in the art of deduction. Mr. Nero.
This will be delightful.
Yeah.
Well, what have we here?
The game is afoot.
They just had a
It would seem
collection,
the
right?
truth
That came out not too long
is
ago?
now
It
Yeah.
came out a while
Year
ago.
or two,
yeah,
yeah.
The defense
The,
demands
the
its
Phoenix
right
Wright
to a
trilogy.
cross-examination.
Yeah,
It was available on like everything.
I played some Layton's, but I never got an ace to it. I always looked to.
It's very fun. You would love it.
Objection!
I bought it.
The
Your
characters are
testimony
just so
completely contradicts the facts.
outlandish and ridiculous. It's great.
Wig.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
Particularly, yes.
Whoa.
Guilty.
Yeah, Hero, I really think you would fall absolutely.
You're the best lawyer in the world.
Dive the hell in.
Now's the time.
Oh,
July 27th.
So we have 10 new
played the
cases and 8 mini escapades
she was gonna say
where
10
you
new
can take
games.
on the role
Yeah.
of a
I was
defense.
like, oh my God.
Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles: Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination.
Dance of Deduction sounds great.
Minor spoilers.
Oh,
Capcom's marketing brand manager for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
Where to?
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features, Dance of Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come across conspicuous situations that require further examination with the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid Suzato and the
Schultz.
brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock.
Herlock Sholmes.
Dude, you got scissors. Clock tower nub.
Yeah.
Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series of
great
conjectures.
music too.
Flawed series of conjectures.
The dubious-looking Russian. I want to see him dance. Hubert, you mentioned Professor Layton and how you got into those. There, on 3DS, there's actually a Professor Layton Phoenix Wright crossover
Yep,
game
yep.
where you do both.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deduction.
Serious. I'm like really feeling this just in this moment. Wait, somebody's turning.
At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth
a terrible
to the mystery.
detective.
As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the
Semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance.
Disguise.
Just snapping at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Gotcha. It's like Scooby-Doo. If it wasn't for you meddling detectives.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other side of the newspaper, of course!
Dude, major spoilers.
Yeah.
Ballerina!
Solved.
Solved.
Elementary.
Good vibes.
Very.
In courtroom battles, players
it
will
said
attempt to
summation
convince 6 jurors of
execution.
the innocence of their client.
It's like, whoa.
Their progress
This reminds
will be
me of trying to
displayed and
convince the
represented by
board
2
in
scales of
Yakuza
justice,
Like a Dragon.
one black
Yeah.
representing
Or
a guilty
Danganronpa
verdict,
a little bit.
and one
Sure.
white
Like
representing
the-
a not guilty verdict.
Just the trial.
In summation examination, you take
play
the
that,
stand to face off against the jurors,
Paradise Killer
all
game.
of whom provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty
That's got
verdict.
like summation executions in it, pretty much.
This is like a real in-depth thing.
Yeah, I was not expecting this.
You'll have to
learn
identify
those knife
conflicting
tricks.
statements and sway
I
the
too
jury in your
always
favor.
bring my sword to court.
Examine each statement carefully and select 2 contradicting jurors to call out the flaws in their
Stab the
logic.
person next to them.
Seriously.
Objection! Cool rendition of the song. Very.
Be ready to provide evidence from the court record to help prove the contradiction in their claims.
Style,
Oh.
When you successfully point out one of these contradictions among the jurors,
Danganronpa gets
you
pretty
might just
wild
change their minds
because
too.
It
With a
gets to a
slam of
point
their
where,
fist,
like,
each juror you
play,
persuade
like,
will
this
send a
driving
fiery ball towards the
mini-games
scales
during the
above
trial
and
and,
literally
like-
tip the scales of
Yeah, it's
justice
weird.
in your favor.
Yeah.
Bring each contradiction to light and persuade the jury. to
This
help
is a
prove
little
your
more
client's
straightforward, where it's like trying to find out lies and presenting evidence to refute
My
stuff.
lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage.
This has just been a small taste
Miserable
of the
pile of
exciting new
secrets.
gameplay features in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are very excited to get this game in the hands of both new fans and diehard fans alike. Thanks for watching.
Cool.
It already
Big
seems
win.
like I have a bunch of games to catch up on.
Demo?
There are some
Progress
exciting new
carries over?
adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's showcase with a few words from 2 of the stars of
I
Capcom
forgot she
Fighters,
said- I
Rob
forgot
TV
she
and
mentioned
Vicious.
this.
They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel
Village
World
DLC
Open,
in the works,
Street
though.
Fighter
Hell
League,
yeah.
and
That's
all
a
the
win.
other content on Capcom
Such a win.
Fighters. Over
And
to
you
you
see
guys.
them? It was like they almost just like woke up in the middle of the night and they're like, we're working on it.
We're working on it.
It feels like it
What's
wasn't
going on,
ever
everybody, and
planned.
welcome
No.
to the
There's
Capcom
Right,
Esports
yeah.
presentation for E3
demand.
2021.
Like,
My name
okay.
is Vicious, commentator for
Or
the
maybe
Capcom
they had
Pro
it
Tour,
like,
as well as Street
if it's-
Fighter League.
if it
here with
hits this
competitive Street
threshold,
Fighter
we'll
V
do it.
player
Yeah.
and host extraordinaire, Hollywood, Rob TV. What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious. Host extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it. And I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter
Yeah.
V, Capcom E3. It just feels right and you feel the electricity in the air. Nice! Nice! What? That was nasty. And there might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't fully know what competitive Street Fighter V is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country
The
to
legend.
country, and we try to bring our opponent's
Multiple
life bar
legends there.
from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your
Daigo. He does.
sign up.
Yes.
Daigo has a book?
No, when I was at Evo, I wanted to get a copy of it, but it was like all sold out. Yeah.
Perfect. The way he looked at the camera, like, don't ever expect another match.
I'm pretty sure
So
it was
in
all
this
sold
year's
out.
CPT overall, it's a series of tournaments that have $5,000 on the line for each tournament, but that money alone, that's not what's really at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all, Capcom Cup.
Item just reset in grand finals of Capcom Cup.
So behind me, you can see in all of its glory, the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set, and that's a place that you are very, very familiar with.
That's right. We take all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out
Red Bull
all
is
of the top
super
players
heavily
from each and every one of
invested.
these regions.
Yeah,
And speaking of, the Capcom Pro
gives
Tour
you
has
wings.
shaped up a lot.
that's
2021,
sick,
we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19 different territories. So there's so many opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was into what we could expect for 2021.
And Mago is the first qualifier for Japan for the Capcom Pro Tour.
Not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour live on the Capcom Fighters channel, you can do so on a plethora of platforms. We have it on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check out the VODs for all the competitive
Give me that
studying
last
you
fighter.
need to become a successful Street Fighter V
Gotta
player,
show that at
as
least,
well as
right?
catching some of the community-focused content that we have on Capcom Fighters. We have
or they
No
could be
Neutral,
saving it
the
for Evo.
official pre-show of the Capcom Pro Tour. We have sets where we take players from around the world and play off in an exhibition first
They
to
like
10.
to
Not
announce
only
stuff
that,
there.
actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happened season after season, non-stop action, 6 teams of 3 duke it out in this battle tournament series to see who will walk away with the championship and the $150,000 prize pool.
Street Fighter League is something that you don't want to miss because normally we only have 1v1 content, but now you actually have your teammates at your back, and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen? He checks it. He checks the movement. What's happening?
Stacy Steve is so good.
Let's not forget
They had a
the
glass
Intel
dividing
World
them?
opening
That's
is
cool.
happening
Very
right
smart.
now. Top players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place in the World Finals happening next month. Be sure to check out the official website for more information, including current standings and broadcast schedule.
To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive competitor title and dojo object. You do not want to miss this.
I highly recommend everyone to stay tuned for future
Dojo object
Capcom
is
Pro Tour updates on the Capcom Fighters
amazing.
channel.
And again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with the Japan region. We've had a couple of more events going on afterwards, but the action does not stop. In fact, we're going to be continuing off with the Midwest region for the Capcom Pro Tour. I know you're definitely excited about that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy
Yeah.
is from Ohio. Make
Midwest.
sure you guys tune in to see the tournament.
You do not want to
Did
miss
kids ever do that
some
when
of
you were
the
a kid?
best Street Fighter
No.
V players in
Midwest.
the world compete head to head.
It's pretty stupid.
Dare you to find better Street
Oh,
Fighter.
the delay really made that.
This is the game about being a world warrior. Capcom Cup tournament play.
Obviously, they got a lot of verses. I'm the best in the world.
This game has
Oh,
changed the
huh.
lives of so many people here.
Ooh,
That's-
the pop-off. That's what I'm talking about.
I told you it's gonna go to the limit.
Okay, that was
Right,
pretty
right at the
sick.
peak.
This is the ultimate
Yeah.
Street Fighter V experience.
Looked like it was
This
glowing.
is
Yeah.
the Capcom Pro Tour.
Thanks, guys. It's been a really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw.
Hope is a
Resident Evil
disease.
Village
Hope
is
is
Show
a
me
back
Dragon's
disease.
with
Dogma
the
2
fulfillment of the
recap.
survival horror experience and
unfulfilled hype is
RE
hype.
Verse as part of the franchise's 25th
You know,
anniversary.
Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
We have
Yeah,
new
dude.
adventures to embark on in the
Go
world
see
Monster
of
Hunter
Monster
Stories
Hunter,
2.
with
Yep.
Monster Hunter Stories 2,
Can be a good
Wings of
Capcom
Ruin,
July.
and
This
Monster Hunter
presentation-
Rise. And
presentation
don't forget to go
made
back
me
in
wanna
time
go
with the
home and
Great
play
Ace
Attorney
Attorney Chronicles
Straight up.
to
Sure.
tap into
I
the
have it on
family
my
history
Switch.
of Phoenix Wright and
I also
solve
have
new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest
I
matches
wonder
with Capcom Fighters.
If
there
they're
really
waiting
is something for everyone here
like
today.
after Monster
But
Hunter
don't go
Stories
anywhere
2
yet.
is out and they've
Join
done
the
that whole
conversation on
collaboration, which I
Twitter
think is a
and
smart
make
thing
sure
to
you
do.
check out the Capcom virtual
I wonder
booth
if
on the
then
E3
they'll
portal
do
to
like
watch all
your
these videos
Nintendo
again
collaborations
and more.
or you
I'm
know,
Rachel Querico,
whatever.
aka Seltzer. Thank you for being part of the Capcom experience at E3 this year.
It was about what we expected.
Yep.
I expected literally every dream.
Really?
I mean, I hoped for it. No, I was just like, I don't know, something.
I thought there might be one big surprise.
I thought there might be one surprise.
But, hey, I'll take Village DLC confirmation.
And the
Truly.
surprise was that they revealed Dragon's Dogma 2 Dino Crisis and everything else.
Next season.
I just think like that Capcom Pro Tour thing was too long.
Yeah, it was too
really
long.
I
think it was too long and said too little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, were they trying to just like get new people into esports?
Yeah, and I mean, from their perspective, I kind of understand that strategy where it's like, okay, we're going to get a bunch of people watching this who aren't already plugged into Capcom and the Pro Tour and everything that means. So it's like, well, let's use this opportunity to try to, reel some people in.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
shoot.
Like, it was cool to get a deep look at a lot of the games coming up. I did appreciate that. But
Yeah.
I feel kind of underwhelmed. But I came in feeling like I knew I was going to be underwhelmed anyways. But I don't know.
Yeah, speaking, I definitely think the esports thing was too long for the information that it was trying to convey. I really think, in a way, like Great Ace Attorney Chronicles was kind of a highlight of this thing.
Yeah.
But the way that they showed off the new mechanics, I think, was maybe a little too literal. Like, it was taking you through. It almost felt like beginning to end, maybe more than it needed to display a point.
Yeah. I guess Capcom is one of those companies, though, that doesn't. They like to announce their game and have it come out.
Yeah,
after,
totally. And
so I guess that makes sense, but yeah.
Also, demo with progress carryover.
That's
we'll
cool,
always
yeah.
champion that.
That's
yeah.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And DLC confirmed in the works for Village.
Yeah.
Hypest text.
Oh, for Monster Hunter, not for Great Ace
text,
Attorney,
dude,
but for
it's
Monster Hunter
so funny.
Stories, too.
That's like
Should
one of the most
clarify.
hyped things. Some text on the screen for
Yeah,
all of E3. Like,
You know
that
what's funny?
confirmation, just the
It's nice knowing that's happening.
the waiting game for DLC for Resident Evil 3 remake that just never came was so painful. So
And
I didn't want to go through that again. I didn't want to just keep holding out for Village DLC. Will it come? Will it come? Will it come? No confirmation, and then all of a sudden they announced like Remake 4. So the fact that they gave us the confirmation.
And I think I won a bet with that.
Yeah,
Because they
I think you
technically
did,
announced
yeah.
it. They
Riley, you've been doing
technically
well in the
announced it.
bets.
Okay, nobody can beat Damiani because somebody wrote a speciously worded bet.
Huber, I feel like
I was
with
in the middle of a review. No excuses. Whatever.
with Resident Evil 2 Remake, the beginnings of that were similarly like, this is happening, like very just kind of simple, like announcement. So maybe good omens because Resident Evil 2 Remake, all-time classic.
Yeah.
I hope this DLC gets wild.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. And
no spoilers, but medieval.
Like,
Yeah.
No
Resident Evil
spoilers, but medieval,
7
please.
DLC was really fun
Really
and
wild.
creative and cool. Yeah.
And a good variety. Was
Yes,
served
exactly.
specifically.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for is like maybe 1 or 2 bigger ones and then like 3 or 4 littler ones.
Yeah.
Like 7 did.
Dude,
Absolutely.
there's a DLC where you see how Duke gets from place to place.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
the DLC.
His horse.
Yeah.
Anything else today?
Well, we got live frame trap.
Live
coming
frame
up.
trap. Noodles and
Directly
broth.
after this, we're just gonna switch over the set real quick, and then we'll be back with that. I guess. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Were they saving Revelations for Nintendo Switch?
If there is
Revelations 3?
No.
There probably is not a Revelations 3.
I'm just throwing them up. I'm just throwing them up, seeing where they land.
I would love it. I love Revelations.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I should clarify.
Revelations
I love
2.
Revelations 2, yeah.
I never played 1.
Yeah.
Just throwing them up. It's all right.
Cool. Well, yes, stay tuned. Ben, Brad, and Huber will be back with live frame trap.
And
Noodles
Brandon
Broths.
Jones.
Yep.
Oh, and Brandon Jones.
Brandon Jones.
In like 5 or 10 minutes, probably. Or, right?
Yeah.
I guess you'll have to find out. Better not leave.
Very soon.
Don't go anywhere.
Bye.